Today I'm bringing you the process of a new Bridgerton illustration. It's very special for me because it's the first scene I created based on, a frame of the series or the film. I think I'm very happy with the results. I think I communicate very well what's happening in that scene or in that moment. And I wanted to share it with you guys because I realized I didn't share it with you previously. So I think today is a good day to do it. And also because I am rewatching Bridgerton again, and I'm rewatching from the beginning, and I plan to do more Bridgerton fan art in a sooner future. I think it's the correct way to say it. So yeah, if you like Bridgerton, if you like character design, if you like illustration, just keep watching. And if you like to see more videos like this, just subscribe and like this video. So that being said, let's jump to Procreate. So before I started sketching, I decided to create like a guide of what I wanted to do, put the scene together. Basically for this, I just grabbed some frames of the series and I made a screenshot of them. And then I mounted like in the canvas size I really wanted to do. You can find some of these also on Pinterest, but I decided to make it myself. I wanted to recreate like this scene where Colin cut off his hand and Penelope says these words that they say that he writes so well. So I decided to go for this because I think it's a very important part of the book, and also because I really love the color palette of this scene. I divided the illustration in 3 different parts. So basically I'm going to have a couple of portraits, one for Penelope, other for Colin, and then the action in the middle. As you can see, I really struggled a lot with Penelope's faces. I spent a huge amount of time trying to create the perfect shape. I really struggle when it comes to find the perfect positioning of the head. So it took me like 3 or 4 sketches to just get one sketch that I really love it. Also, I had the inconvenience that the portrait or Penelope's character, it's a little bit from, for the camera view, it's from the ceiling a little bit. So we see a lot of the shoulders, and I was knowing that I was doing bad the proportions because I had like a very big head, then I had the shoulders smaller, but finally I found proportional size that I think it could fit, and also it matches with Penelope's character, and I think we can make it resemble. For the painting technique and the brushes I'm using for the sketching or for the line art, the Sarah Faber's 6B pencil. I think it's available on her Patreon. And also for the rest, I am using pretty basic brushes. I didn't want to go like to create like a masterpiece. I want to focus more on the style of a comic or graphic novel, because I have in mind like creating my own graphic novel someday, and I'm just practicing because I don't know how to do that, or I don't know the style I want to do for my graphic novel in the future, because right now it's not it's not in plan. But basically, I wanted to fill everything with solid colors and also using a solid brush, a very basic brush, and then add like details and textures with the chalk brush and also the shade brush. Both of them are like presets on Procreate, so nothing fancy, just using what I have, probably also using the Bonova chalk sometimes to create more, texture, and that's all. I want to, in this kind of process for a graphic novel, for example, or for something more simpler, also for posting on Instagram and this kind of stuff, and trying to find a way that I feel comfortable with that process, and also it keeps resembling my style, even it's simpler in terms, but I kind of like it. And I have been working also with this kind of painting system on my books lately, even they are in black and white or one color but I keep using these things, like creating like a highlight around the character and trying to add simple details but also that make the whole of the illustration, and I think it works pretty well. And also the background, I don't know guys if you have noticed, but the background I made it super simple. I didn't pay attention to the detail. I just create like lines and then blurred it up, and it ended up looking so good. So that's why I always think that when you are going to do like a background for this kind of things, you don't need to add everything in detail. Just try to make the people make an idea of what is besides your character, and then make it nice. And these things works. I mean, I think sometimes it's easy to create, to paint very simple and then make your illustration pop, just adding a few details like highlights, a little bit of shadows, some blush, some texture, and that's all. I think it can work so well. For the second part, like the action of this small story, I follow with the same rule, like simple colors, all of the stuff. The only thing I did, that I think I also did it in the line art of the previous illustration, is that I changed it a little bit, the color of the line. This is very simple to do, just creating a clipping mask over your line art and paint it over. So I think that when you add like different coloring to your line art, it really makes the difference, And as you can see, I made it super simple. I just painted like the solid color, add some illustration. Even the flowers, they are not super detailed because I decided that I wanted to put this part like blurred a little bit. So that's why I didn't I didn't paint that much, and I didn't add all the details that probably you could do it if it's something very neat or that it's very visible and very important on your drawing. But as you can see, I keep it simple. I really made very weird hands. It was tough to sketch, by the way, but I think I made it more or less fine. And also I really like to add here some highlights on the hands, but also on the background. We have like the floor, this wooden floor, and I wanted to make the hands really differentiate from the floor, so that's why I add there more of a highlight or soft highlight. Also about the lighting, I completely mess up. I mean, it's okay because this is my interpretation. I'm not trying to copy reality. So I really, I put the highlights where I thought it could work well. So I didn't worry that much on where it was going to be. And then it came the turn for Colin. And as you can see, I really, really, really had like, I don't know, it was very difficult to draw the expression I wanted for Colin and also the face. I went first for a more realistic type of face, but then I just saw that it didn't match it with the one I had for Penelope. So I had to create like the same kind of a style. And maybe you're thinking, okay, you're the same person, you have to do it in the same style. But it's not true. I think that when I saw Penelope drawing, it's more like cartoony and these kind of things. Big eyes. I mean, it's not very realistic on proportions. So that's why I had to change finally like the sketch. And I'm very proud of this because I think the expression I get in the end, you can see here like all the evolution of the sketches, but the expression I get in the end is like the want that I wanted, like a surprise, a shy surprise. I don't know how to express it in English, but you know what I mean? Like she's saying these words, and he finds it completely off and weird, so it is surprise. And for the coloring, I wanted to keep like the same vibes with the greens and the oranges. Also, I had a lot of messing with Colin's skin, because on the books he's tan because of his travels, so I wanted to recreate like this in this scene. But soon I saw that the color, this brown I put, it was not looking good with all of the rest of the illustration. So I ended up using another lighter hue of this color, or like a lighter hue of orange, to make it match more with the color of the skin of Penelope. Also, I decided to be trusty to the books, and I drew Colin eyes green, because basically they have green eyes in the books. And also because I think that when I have all the clothes that they are gray and blue, I think having this green, like this green color makes some difference, you know, because it's not that blue. And for the coloring, I just follow it the same, very simple coloring, just the solid colors. You see that I just tinted a little bit the liner, and I created a little bit of reflections on the hair. Basically because, you know, male hair, it's more difficult to represent. We can do more easy like the strands on girls' hair. So that's why I decided to add like these reflections. For the, you know, the best, I think it's the name, I just added this kind of flowers. I think it's very similar to the one he's wearing on the frame that I choose. But also I didn't want it to pay more attention. This time I'm not going to blur it, but I leave it that way. I mean, it's nice to have it like more sketchy thing. And for the background, I just put very simple shapes. I recreated a door, but you know, I didn't pay a lot of attention on doing that. And then I started to adding some lightning in the background to make it, you know, look fine. So this has been everything for today's video. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you like the final process. Hope you like the final illustration. And if you like to see more videos like this, or if you want to say something related to the video, or if you have any doubt related to the process I follow it, or the brushes, or whatever you think you need to ask, feel free to ask on the comments, because I am always watching it. I'm always paying attention to them. A big thank you and a lot of kisses to my patrons, because they are helping me to move this channel. So really, really thank you for them, and see us in the next video. Bye bye. As I look in the mirror, I love